Hello and welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. We got smiles on our faces today because it is night one of WrestleMania. My name is Scott and I'm joined by our favorite master luchador, other than Rey Mysterio, of course, the Hall of Famer. We're talking about our own Hall of Famer over here in Rob. How are you doing, Rob?
Oh, stop it. Call me Mojo Riley because I am hyped.
Mate, love it. Well, you better stay hyped. We're going to do
trying.
this intro and we'll be back right after this.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.
All right, so once again, welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, and we are here doing a build-up show for WrestleMania, mate. Obviously, it comes around once a year, but every time it does, it's the most wonderful time of the year, mate. How are you feeling about tonight?
Yeah, man, I'm looking forward to it. I've got garlic bread ready. I've got
garlic bread.
Yeah, garlic bread. I've got cakes prepared. I've got bits of pizza ready from, what I've done. Basically, I felt like a hamster today. So what I kind of prepped everything beforehand, and then I put stuff aside that I know I don't want, and then my plan is to then eat it later tonight while watching WrestleMania, which means I haven't got to cook.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. Oh, yeah, very wise. It's been a long day already for me, mate. My voice is nearly gone. You would have seen a graphic pop up there, instant reaction. We did that for NXT Stand and Deliver. We did a build-up show for that. We did a watch along for that. So if you feel like it, guys, after this stream, if you want to hear our NXT coverage, go back and check that out. But man, it has been a busy day. But hey, I wouldn't want it any other way as a wrestling fan. As much as my voice is not going to be happy, my throat is not going to be happy tomorrow.
Sounding good.
Thanks, man. I don't feel good. But yeah, man, I'm so excited. Now we've got breaking news at the moment, mate. I don't know if you've seen that the main event is officially, I say officially, it's reportedly going to be the Usos, Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. How are you feeling about that?
I think my reactions does it all, doesn't it? We spoke about this quite in detail. We spoke about it in detail quite a lot. Dan and Lucas obviously spoke about it as well. I think it's been a topic on everyone's lips and fingertips over Twitter for the last week. That this should be the main event because of how important and how big of a thing it is. And I think what's even better is I said this on the when we was talking about the reaction to like the show and the card and all that sort of stuff. This has the main event night one because the importance of it, what they've done with it the whole year of the Bloodline, what Sami's done, what Owens has done, all the way through the Bloodline feud at the beginning and now towards the end of maybe the Bloodline. It's so important and I feel like even if this wasn't for tag titles, this match alone could main event. Like it's such important. It's such the bigger deal for night one. It's one of the biggest things.
The story alone, as you say, is enough. But when you add the tag titles into it, and like we said the other day, man, like the reign itself, like it is crazy. The kind of nuclear heat surrounding it. Just gonna get some comments here. Sludge Sports says, "Hello, Sludge. Thank you very much for coming back. Of course, you were on our instant reaction to NXT, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. We saw an incredible 5-way match earlier, Rob. I don't know if you've seen it. No, this is a WrestleMania stream.
I'm watching it tomorrow, man.
Oh, okay. I won't tell you much about it, but honestly,
I've read that the women's. So I started watching the women's.
Okay.
And then my stream cut like from the network for some reason. My internet just went down, and I couldn't watch anything. Right. So I was sulking. I couldn't watch nothing on Netflix. I couldn't watch nothing on Prime. So I was fuming. So I had daytime, evening crap TV, and I didn't enjoy that because I hate TV.
Fair enough.
But I've seen a couple of bits. I know who won the women's ladder match. Okay. I know apparently the men delivered on their match, the ladder match.
Yeah.
So I'm intrigued to watch it. But me and my son are going to watch it tomorrow. He's a big Axiom fan. So.
He's going to have a good time because Axiom has a great performance. I mean, all of them in that match perform incredibly well. I was saying on it, it's definitely turn my eyes towards NXT again, which is all I really wanted to do. You know what I mean? So it's I'm feeling good about it. But great.
So I think I need to sit down. I never thought I'd hear you say that again.
No, I'm not quite where I was back when I found of NXT, but honestly, it was a fantastic show. So definitely get around to watching it. And then when you do, check out our instant reaction. Of course, everyone that's watching along now. But of course, we're here right now to talk WrestleMania. And of course, it's a 2-night affair these days, Rob. Let's look through the card just up here for a second. Of course, we're looking at Saturday today, but both nights are incredibly stacked.
Yeah, they really, really are. Again, people are still asking about John Cena Theory. I mean, I literally see it on about 10 minutes ago on Twitter. Are they main eventing? And I think it's bizarre when they've already said that they are opening. So
yeah,
I don't understand. And I think it's because of the way they've done the graphic and they're the marquee for night one. But I think of all the people there, the draw right there at the moment is Cena. And because it's going to push Theory, it makes sense to have the biggest draw on your card opening on night one if that's what you're going to do. Do you know what I mean? It'd be strange if you had Mysterio and Dom on night one and that was the main graphic. Like, I get what they're doing. But as I said, they're highlighting a graphic and it's opening, and then Roman and Cody is closing. So it's a bookend graphic, in my opinion. I mean, I don't know if anyone else sees it that way, but that's how I've looked at it.
No, I think that's a good point, to be fair. I think it works quite well like that. Again, especially when there's speculation for what was going to headline. It was an easy kind of way to, what else are you going to put there? We knew it was opening first, but like you say, it's a good little bookend. And what a better name than John Cena to be on the graphic.
Exactly.
You say they're the Mysterious. To be fair, I think Ray is a big enough name as well, especially considering he's gone into the Hall of Fame. Which, by the way,
did you... Theory, by the way.
Me too.
Oh, it was...
Me too. It was an emotional speech, and the induction by Conan, incredible as well.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of them. I don't want to belittle anyone's Hall of Fame speech. Obviously, some of them are great. Some of them, you're only watching it for one person, kind of thing, or sometimes one or two people.
Yeah,
all of them are great. Like, none of them disappointed. Sometimes you get a really speech. All of them disappointed last night. I'm sorry, all of them were great. None of them
all of them disappointed.
That's what I meant. But it was just Ray's speech. It's just the moments mentioning Eddie. The thing with Dom, they've done a really good job of being able to protect the story. I'm assuming Dom was shedding tears backstage when he was hearing everything that Ray was saying about his career. Breaking kayfabe. But something else come out of this, of the Hall of Fame. I should know before on SmackDown. And the minute I see it this morning. Obviously, I messaged you guys in the group chat. Please tell me we're getting the LWO back. That's got to happen. Right?
Yeah, it was cool. I don't think it's a one-night thing just to kind of sell some merch. I think it might be, to be honest. I
don't know. They've got them on the website on the
just to sell merch. Yeah, no, it was cool, man. Nice little reveal for it. I know there were rumblings about it all day, but I think it is a big part, being in LA and stuff like that as well. So, of course, a very kind of big population of Mexicans there as well. So, Mexican Americans. So it was definitely a right place to unveil a T-shirt like that. And
it was nice
man, it was really nice. It was really nice, and it was really nice to see Ray be able to go into Spanish in these kind of induction as well, and know that at least a good portion of the audience are going to understand him and still laugh along and stuff like that as well. So I was all for it, man. I think it was a good place to induct Ray.
Yeah, and just on that note, Scott, I don't know if you want to get yourself ready, but if you want to find out a little bit more about Rey Mysterio, because if you may have missed stuff that he said in his Hall of Fame speech, then a video went out on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. Thankfully, I got the pleasure and the honor to do it, talking about the things and the reasons why Rey Mysterio is a Hall of Famer. So check that out. I mean, I really enjoyed doing it. It took a lot of time, having a lot of debates and stuff.
We got there in the end.
It's worth it.
No,
it was
definitely,
really fun. Really
fun.
Mate.
It's getting a good reaction. So thank you for your hard work on that, mate. You definitely earned your stripes there, mate. It was very, very interesting. It was a great, like a lot of kind of great opinions as well. So I won't spoil it too much, but basically goes into the 5 reasons why Rhea's a Hall of Famer. And one of those things basically is to kind of spoil one of those categories is matches. And you go into some incredible recaps of some fantastic matches as well. So yeah, definitely, if you're a Rey Mysterio fan, guys, you want to check that out once you're done with this stream here. But anyway, we are here on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, not just to talk about the Hall of Fame, but of course talk about tonight's event as well. So with that in mind, let's talk about, first of all, the set. We did this. I did a separate video about this, Rob, but obviously I haven't really heard your kind of take on this, so it'd be interesting to hear that as well.
It's nice, isn't it?
It's nice, man.
Of all the sets that I think we've had, there's a few that really like blew my mind. Obviously, one of them in a theme park with a massive roller coaster at the top. That was beautiful. It's a bit controversial, but you know the one where they had just the single screen, and it was just a massive screen.
Oh yeah, WrestleMania. The one, last one I was at, New York.
I low key like that.
I don't like it.
I think because it was nice and plain, and the idea was the spectacle was on the rest. But then I think they learned a lesson that people didn't like it. But I like the idea of it just being a plain Titantron, I guess.
You can big it up as much as you want. It worked good, mate. It worked good. You know what? I said on Stand and Deliver, though, they had a similar kind of thing, but they worked graphics really well into it. So, I really like the new one. Sludge Sports here with us again. Thank you, mate, for your comments. Don't like that one. I assume you're talking again about 35.
About the one I mentioned.
Is it 35? I can't remember that. I said I was there, and I don't remember where it is. I'm sure it's 35. Yeah, it is 35. Yeah. WrestleMania 35, New York, New Jersey, of course. But yeah, going back into this one alone, mate, what are your general thoughts on it?
Yeah, look, I really liked it. Obviously, I've always seen so far it's just images. Obviously, we've seen some pictures and videos that people have been able to do backstage and kind of pan little previews and stuff on Twitter. What we've seen so far, it's been lovely. Like, I'm imagining when you see it on the actual screen properly and you get all the pyro and everything else and the fans there and it kind of fills it out. I think it could be arguably one of the greatest, designs for the stadium and what they've done so far as a set. I think it's going to be amazing. I'm really looking forward to it. I think night one is going to be great, but I'm really hoping that Cody rises up from the floor for night two, and we get to see that, and we get to see that spectacle and all the fans cheering along to his song and singing along and stuff. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I think it could be probably one of the best performances just from entrance alone we're going to see. I think throughout the whole.
That's a good point, man. I'm really looking forward to entrances tonight, actually. Let's touch on some of that as well. Hold on. You know, it's a big stream, mate, because I've got the big bad boy out as well. Hold on.
Oh. All right. So while you're doing that, that reminds me, obviously, we like to go big on the show.
Right? You like beer. That's what was going to be
you
that
do
point.
like beer,
yeah. Have you got me a beer?
No, RM Pro Wrestling beer. It should come out at some point. We'll talk about it.
I'd love it.
But obviously, there was something it's right here. It's just, where is it? This side. It's right here. But I do want to bring it on stream before we talk about it. And it's in the show, right? And it's I think it's going as Otis. But the minute you held the beer glass, it reminded me that I have something that I think needs to go on the line for the Pro Wrestling channel, which is
All right, so a little backstory if you're new here to the channel, guys. I wasn't a fan of Otis's Money in the Bank run.
No. Really?
And Rob always likes to point that out. And
it was just the way you copped the way you copped that. He was like that. And it reminded me of him when he had this massive jug of he was just
mate, look, I like Otis. I like the run he was on. I just think it was ridiculous to make him Money in the Bank winner. And I think they realized that themselves in the end when they gave up on it as well. But now, of course, with Otis, like I say, it's going to be interesting to see what happens in that kind of WrestleMania spectacular fatal four-way tornado
I'm weirdly looking forward to that
Hell in a Cell ladder Money in the Bank match that they're doing
on a pole.
Okay. On a pole. Yeah, of course. It's not
I'm weirdly looking forward to it. Like,
I'm looking forward to the match. I'm just still annoyed that it doesn't.
But it's not for anything. That was our biggest criticism.
Exactly that. So what we'll do, actually, we'll get into some of our predictions, mate, that we've already made. Again, we're locked in now. If you're brand new to the channel, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Basically, what we're going to do is go through the cards for
I'm not sure if it's Scott that's gone or me that's gone. So in case it is, obviously I'm going to keep talking. So the plan was to go through the card. But I believe Scott is the one that's dropped out. Maybe it's the signal problem. Obviously, there's nothing I can do about that. That'll be on Scott's end. But while that does happen, I don't want to be, radio silence and doing absolutely nothing. We're more professional at that. I try to say that. But yeah, while we're waiting, let us know in the comments your favorite match, the match that you're looking forward to, the one that's really exciting you at the moment, other than, let's say, the main event, which is Roman versus Cody. Obviously, we're going to get onto that as this, and obviously we've got another build up for night 2. So until we're there, we're kind of going to try and keep off of that. But there is a few matches that I'm really, really looking forward to. Obviously, one of them we were talking about was the Strowman, Ricochet, Profits, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders. Even though it's 4-0, I'm actually looking forward to it because I think it could be something special. We could have a couple moments. Oh, you're back. Look at me trying to hold down a fort.
I don't know what's going on there. No, I just realized. I heard the end of it.
I realized I've got no access, so I can't put up any comments. So I was like, oh no, people commenting. I can't do anything.
I came back. It's just in time because Slush Sports says Gunther, Sheamus, and Drew is the match. They're most.
We were talking about this. This could be match of the could be match of the weekend.
Yeah, definitely. So excited for that. Of course, that is a night 2 one. Like we said, we're going to be back tomorrow for a night 2 build up. We're going to try and stick to as much as we can, really, on the first night here as well. I can't quite remember what I said when I froze there, Rob. Do you remember?
Yeah, you said we're going to look at, and then you just froze. So I don't know what we were going to look at. But,
I don't know either. We're going to look at some matches, I guess.
Yeah.
We're going to look at our predictions as we go along and talk about the ones that we've already predicted. They are locked in, guys. We can't change them, but guys, we'd love to hear what you think is going to happen tonight at WrestleMania as well. Again, try and stick to night 1 if you could, but if you've got any kind of notes that lead into night 2, we'd love to hear them as well. So what we'll do, we'll go through the card. Probably best to do it in the order that we see here. We'll go bottom to top, right? So we'll start with the one actually that you seem to be really keen on talking about, mate. And of course, that is the Fate 4-Way Tag Team WrestleMania Special Show Us What You Got match between Braun Strowman and Ricochet, the Street Profits, Alpha Academy, and the Viking Raiders.
Show us what you've got. Is that what we're branding it? Just show us what you can do.
I don't know. Yeah, that's
just
perform. That's what they're branding it as.
Just perform, go out there, you know the ropes. Just get on with it.
Exactly. See, show us what you got. We all got Street Profits in this. Clean sweep. Sludge Sports also going for Street Profits as well. Yeah. Now that we've seen Raw and SmackDown since we've done our predictions, mate, any changes? Yeah. Would you have changed?
Still Street Profits.
Yeah.
We love the Street Profits. Speaking of, you interview. Well, I say you attempted to interview the Street Profits.
I tried to interview. Yeah, I interviewed one of them.
Street Profit.
Yeah, I interviewed a Street Profit, while the other Street Profit, as you can see from the font now, acted like a statue. It was a surreal experience. Go back and check it out.
It was great.
It's a fun interview, even for that. So yeah, please check that out if you could. Yeah. But yeah, still big fans of them. Want them to do well. And I think they will. I do think they'll win tonight. I've seen a few people say, well, if this is about talking about the future of the tag division, then we'll have some kind of shakeups here. Maybe it's more likely to put, a W in the column of the War Raiders or Viking Raiders, whatever they're called these days.
The War Viking Raiders. Yeah. Do you know what? The thing is, I can see that definitely Street Profits, yes. The Viking Raiders, yes. Maybe Strowman and Ricochet, because they're a bit of a makeshift tag team, like a little and large, but they're working. Mm-hmm. But Alpha Academy, with the OT stuff happening, I can see it becoming a feud and them splitting up and Gable kind of getting a push after. I mean, I've seen that Triple H is high on Gable and he wants him to do something. Could he be the next Angle? I don't know. But he needs to get out of this shush moment and he needs to get back to...
No, I like that at the moment.
No. It's okay for the time, but if you wanted to take him more of a more as a stronger role and you need to take him more serious, then the shush has to go. It's good for this gimmick, but
Whoosh! I've never wanted to mute someone so badly. Ah! Sorry, mate.
You muted me. But yeah, no, I do want to see him. I want to see him progress, and we've seen what he can do in NXT.
Yeah,
him as the American Alpha. So, bro, I want to see him literally shine on his own as an actual independent wrestler and be taken more serious because he's so good.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think and he's done a lot for his character, but you're right.
His runs have just been awful. Shorty G, this thing,
yeah, but he's made a lot of it work, and this one's been good, man. Like he's got it over, and Alpha Academy are really over. People like him, so I think eventually time will come. But it'll be a bit more, even if they split up, I think it'll be comedic for a little bit longer.
I reckon, but I'm hoping it kind of fizzles out and then we get just Chad Gable. Because I can't wait to see that. He's so good.
He is good. And I'm looking forward to seeing what they bring to us in their kind of show us what you got match, as we mentioned earlier on. It's going to be an exciting one, guys. Even if it doesn't look like it's exciting because it's not for anything, I'm sure we're going to see some great action between all of the wrestlers. Right, let's move on. Again, let us know in the comments, guys, what you think is going to happen throughout this stream. We'd love to hear your opinions. Sludge Sports says Gable underrated. 100%, mate. I think we're all on the same side here. Definitely want to see more from Gable. I like the comedic stuff, but I agree with you, Rob. Like at some point, it does need to kind of move away from that. Right, let's move on to again, we'll bring up this graphic and see what was next. Again, this isn't the match order, of course. We're just going by the order that they've been put onto the card here. We're talking about a big one next, mate. If you can see there, Rey Mysterio versus his little son. I say little son.
He's bigger than him.
He's bigger than him. In Dominic Mysterio. Right, now we've seen the Hall of Fame, Rob. And I did predict that something would happen. And I went full force on it, mate. Even though I'm usually against this sort of thing, I said Dominic was probably going to attack Rey. Now, in hindsight, probably best that he didn't. They played up to it at the beginning. He weren't looking. We tweeted out last night, and it got a great reaction at RN Pro Wrestling on Twitter. Basically, the strength of Dominic as a performer to kind of just act not interested in any of this stuff with Rey was incredible. And then, like you said, Oscar winning, mate. And they went backstage and probably, really could enjoy it. It was fantastic. And then Rey saying, "I'll take care of business tomorrow." And then it was out of the way. Conan already made a joke about it as well. It was a bit sad. I'm sure Dominic in years gone by, like in years to come, will be okay with it. But it was sad that when he mentioned his family, didn't mention Dom, because they are still in the middle of this real, not real, and all this kind of stuff presentation for it. But either way, it kind of got everybody talking about the match as well. Sludge Sports thinks that Rey Mysterio is winning. Now, when we look back to our red carpet preview, Rob, me and you went for. Let's have a look.
I think you went Rey.
No, we all went for Dom, including
we all go for
Lucas and Dan as well on their predictions episode. So we all
went
for
think
Dom. You still think Dom?
I still think Dom because I think the only way to get past this would be if Rey wins, it's done. If Dom wins, it kind of continues and builds the feud. And as we said, I think the feud's going to end with Dom turning face, and then that'll be that moment. And obviously we spoke about it in the past on this podcast when we was on the main channel before we just started this channel. That obviously the idea's been passed around that Rey would pass the mask to Dom. Whether or not Dom then goes in a mask, it'd be a bit weird doing it now. But I understand the moment and what it represents. So obviously I'd love to see that happen, but I don't know. I can see Dom winning because I think there's more to this story and what's going to happen. If Rey wins, it's done. And then what? Dom gets lost in Judgment Day? What happens next?
Yeah, I agree. I just think the feud needs to go further on with Dom, and then Dom eventually turning face. I'm just excited for the match, though. I said it on our preview. I said it when we were talking about the lineups as well. I think Dom is a improving talent, both in the ring, but also character-wise. And the work he's done lately with Judgment Day has been phenomenal. It's given him a chance to really spread his wings and kind of show what he can do, you know, especially being a heel. You always hear wrestlers say that being a heel kind of helped them kind of branch out. So, yeah, really looking forward to seeing just little subtle things, because I think he's done that really well lately, you know. So him and Ray, going to be an incredible match either way. I've gone for Dom. I'm sticking with Dom, and I really hope it's Dom.
I agree. I tell you what, it's weird to say this, but I think this is the first time where if Ray wins, the kind of, or the face wins, I think you've gone again. If the face wins, then there's nothing left for the heel. But in this case, if Dom wins, Dom kind of needs to win to carry on what's next for Dom. Whereas if Ray wins, it's done. Do you know what I mean? If Dom can go back to Judgment Day, fine. And then they can do whatever. Apparently, they've teased that a new member comes in on Monday. If that's going to happen, or if it does, obviously there's rumors and stuff. But
it's Mick Foley, you said.
Well, I mean, I'd love it to be Foley. Foley applied. He done it on Twitter. Done it on Instagram.
We covered this on our Raw After Mania predictions, where we were talking about the most likely people to return or debut. So check that out, guys, if you get a chance over this weekend and you're hype up to Monday Night Raw. But yeah, you're right. I mean, the future Judgment Day is a big part of this situation with Dom.
It is.
You know? So, and I don't see him, especially at the moment, I don't see him disbanding. It'd be crazy to disband him.
If Dom, let's just put it this way, if whatever happens, right, if Ray wins and then the Judgment Day kick out Dom, then it's a bit of a cop-out for Ray going, oh, I need your help to beat them. Whereas if Dom wins and continues doing it, the Judgment Day then kick him out, Ray will come to make the save, and that will put an end to their feud and their father and son being supportive. Yeah. And I think that's kind of the way that we need to go. And I think it'll turn Dom a babyface in that sense. Unless the worst of the worst that could happen is Judgment Day beat Dom up and then the crowd cheer for it. And you have to then try and force a way to get him to become a babyface. And I guess that's what they'll continue to do.
But like I've kind of thought all along is that like this kind of Ray embraces Dom, Dom embraces him, and then that kind of tells the audience we should like Dom. And then when the Judgment Day turn on him, it needs. I think it needs to be because he showed humility and kind of love for his dad, not them. Oh, you lost, so we're going to beat you up, and then Ray makes a save. He needs to have kind of something needs to have changed in his mind, and he starts showing that he's on Ray's side again, and then he gets attacked. Do you know what I mean? And then Ray makes a save after that, or something like that. So, but it could happen tonight. It could. I hope it doesn't now, because I want this to go on a bit longer. And I, I think it would have made more sense if Ray was retiring, and obviously he's not. But as we said earlier on, Ray inducted into the Hall of Fame. And if you get a chance, guys, check out Rob's video all about Rey Mysterio's career and some of the things that would have been missed during that speech, but definitely worth talking about with when it comes to Rey Mysterio's illustrious Hall of Fame career. Right, let's move on to the next match. And again, anyone in the comments watching along live, and I know some people, again, we always mention it, watch on demand as well. Really do appreciate that, because not only do we, of course, preview the event, we also quite often go deep into kind of random topics as well. So yeah, if you're watching on demand, we appreciate that as well. Right, let's move on to the next one. We've been talking Ray and Dominic, so now it's time to talk Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul. And in order to talk Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan Paul, we're also going to bring in another guest with us. Say hello, everyone, to Dan. How you doing, Dan?
Ahoy.
Hey, guys. How's it going?
Yeah, good, mate. Are you excited for WrestleMania?
Yeah, I'm literally like just exhausted myself. So
I mean, you sound it.
Yeah, you sound confused, mate.
You sound more shattered than Scott.
Yeah, I mean, for those of you obviously that don't know, like myself and Lucas actually run like live wrestling shows ourselves, and I do all the ring announcing, hence my lack of voice at the moment.
Oh, mate, there we go. Kind of similar to me. I did talk for 4 hours straight, pretty much on my own. So yeah, I feel your pain, man. Well, apart from earlier on the build up for NXT, we did have Andy join us again. Of course, friend of the channel, comes on our build-ups quite often now. He was right there live at the Crypto.com Center, which I'm told is the old Staples Center, by the way, just a new name for it. And kind of gave us a lowdown on the atmosphere and stuff like that. So hopefully he's going to be joining us on Even Night WrestleMania as well. On this one, Slush Sports says Seth is winning. Is it Logan's contract expiring? Now,
apparently so.
Interesting news. I did see him talking to Ariel Helwani and basically saying they're going to re-sign me. And I think they are going to re-sign him. They'd kind of be silly not to be fair. So I just imagine he's going to get a bigger payday is what I think is going to happen here. But overall, I'm looking forward to this match. Dan, what are you thinking about this, man? Are you excited to see these two work together?
Yeah, I mean, it's always a strange one when you've got like a celebrity versus like a full-time WWE superstar kind of thing. But I think last time I'm trying to think, there was years back now there that obviously the Mayweather and Big Show one, which is quite well hyped. Obviously, we've had like Logan Paul in a couple of times now, but yeah. I mean, to be honest, it's like I'm not like the biggest Logan Paul fan, but yeah, I think this should be. I think if anyone can get like an absolute like barnstorming banger of a match out of anyone, pretty much it is Seth Rollins. So,
to be fair, though, I mean, Logan as a person, I know a lot of people are, and as a social media influencer, but I think he's undeniable as a in-ring talent, surely.
Yeah, I think he's one of these where, although he's not really had much kind of training, he's kind of come into his own, and the short stint he's had in WWE, he's just been he has been really, really, really good at what he's doing. So, so yeah, I mean, so for me, like overall, I'm, as I say, my voice is literally shot to pieces. So I'm just going to give my quick kind of overall kind of thoughts, if that's all right, on Mania as a whole.
Yeah, go ahead.
If you guys don't mind. Yeah, so basically, from what I've seen, I think night one, obviously, if you guys haven't already seen it, go back and watch the predictions that myself and Lucas did. We did touch on a few bits there. But yeah, I think night one is going to be pretty good. I think that's going to definitely play into stuff that happens obviously on Raw. So with the John Cena Austin Theory match, yeah, I think there's a strong chance that Cena can win that one. Although you want obviously the younger guy to go over. Yeah, I just think there's going to be either returns or something on the Raw. So. Thanks, that actually helped putting that up.
Remember the card.
Yeah, can you stick it back up a minute? Just I can have a quick look. Sorry. Yes, obviously Charlotte and Rhea, I think it's got all the makings of a classic. Obviously, there's been the back and forth as to which match is actually going to main event it. I think they're missing a trick if they don't go with the Usos.
It's official now, Dan. It is official. The Usos is the main event.
Oh, that is now, yeah.
Yeah, well, as official as Meltzer basically reporting it, so pretty set at the moment.
Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, because usually it'll. I think they said that earlier today the girls weren't planning to be main event, but then the tag match they apparently had said to them plan for it kind of thing. But yeah, I think night one does have some very strong matches on it. I mean, I'm definitely looking forward to the showcase match as well, and obviously Ray and Dominic. I think playing it obviously from what happened at the Hall of Fame as well. I think they did it so perfectly.
Yeah, they walked that fine line, didn't they?
I think it was just a bit interesting though, because I thought that Ray would have at least kind of taken the high ground kind of thing and mentioned Dominic's speech. Yeah, that was my only kind of criticism from it. Although it's you're playing into a story, but then the Hall of Fame speech is meant to be a real life kind of thing. And he spoke about Angie and Aaliyah. It's didn't mention Dom one bit. And I think although you're going with this story,
yeah,
you've still got a son, so just mention him, kind of thing. Irrespective of what's going on in the story, but yeah, and then I think obviously with night 2, obviously that's tomorrow. It's going to be that main event. I think everyone's looking forward to it. Only thing I'm hoping on night 2 though is that they don't overdo it with how long they give Edge and Balor.
I think that's a big concern for a lot of us. But with going back to night 1 though, Dan, what are you thinking about this 6-woman tag match? I mean, we're kind of frustrated that there's the women's titles lost within a match that don't need them or aren't even using them.
So I reckon they could potentially change the night 2 match to add like Becky and Lita to it. Like maybe one of the teams gets like taken out or something.
Okay.
Add Becky and Lita to it and have it for the tag titles.
That's a weird thing to like. Yeah, it's such a weird. Like, why would any wrestler go? Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, look, don't get me wrong. I think they could book that. I just mean within the storyline, it would be stupid. Like, why would any wrestler, other than the kind of, I'm the good guy and I always want to give people a chance, which they probably will kind of lean it on, but it would be weird. I wouldn't be surprised if night 1 of this match did lead to night 2 with the titles involved somehow. And of course, all these rumors about Trish potentially turning as well. Maybe not even on night 1. Maybe it will be like she convinces them to put the titles online night 2 and she costs them. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards there.
So I'd accept that because then we're not getting this cluster mixed of booking where Lita is or Trish is feuding with Becky or Lita and they've still got tag team championship. Like, if you're gonna do that feud, take away the titles. Like, the titles aren't important to that feud at all. That's ridiculous. So I'd accept it. If they do it that way, I'll take that. Question is, if you are going to do that, who do you take out from the night 2 match? Like,
well, I don't know if they will. Maybe they just add someone in. It's not like the actual team.
I don't know. I mean, this is like an elimination. So, like, if the minute you're pinned, one of you's pinned, both of you are gone.
Well, they should have just. I mean, both of these show us what you got matches, as we're calling them now, should basically be number 1 contender matches. I mean, they make no sense on the card. As much as I will enjoy the matches themselves, I'm sure, I really don't understand why they've kind of just thrown them on with no kind of storyline reason behind it. Anyway, Dan, thank you very much for joining us, mate. I understand you're going to hop off now, but hope you enjoy WrestleMania. And been good talking for this brief time about WrestleMania with you, man. Enjoy it. Oh, I think his mic's gone. He's muted.
He's having that, or his voice is gone.
He's still here. What's going on? His mic's not connected. It says, Dan, I think that's a good time to say goodbye and save your voice, mate. Thanks for coming on. He's back.
He's gone again.
Thank you very much.
We're live, buddy.
We're live, buddy. For coming on. It's been good to hear what you had to say as well. We'll kind of pick up where we left off, though, Rob. We'll go back into it match per match. Again, guys, thank you so much, everyone joining us live or on demand. Drop your comments and let us know what you think about this WrestleMania card overall. And if you are live with us, let us know what you think is going to happen tonight. Right, so where were we? We were talking next about Seth freaking Rollins versus Logan freaking Paul. Where are we going with this one, mate?
Is that an official middle name, or is that just...
No, I don't think so. So, 2 of us went for Seth. That was Dan and Lucas. 2 of us went for Logan. What do you know, mate? It was me and you.
We know what we're talking about.
Now that we've seen Raw and SmackDown, and I don't think anything really featured on those about this feud, what would you say tonight if you could have changed your pick?
I'd still say Logan, because this is my fantasy booking.
What are you going to say? Just straight up, this is my fantasy, seeing Logan Paul wrestle. Cool, man. I'm
repping
jokes for different folks, man. Yeah, look at you little Mark. Yeah, you're Logan Paul, Mark.
I mean, I will say I don't want to break kayfabe or anything like that, but they are empty. There's nothing in it. I drunk them already. Very good, and must I say, Obviously, I'm not getting paid for it, but a lemon and lime one with vodka. Beautiful.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Look at you encouraging our viewers to drink, you naughty man.
Well, no. Who else drinks on a live stream? But I would say that my fantasy booking would be. Now, you may disagree. Logan to win, right? His contract expires. And then basically.
You ain't CM Punk, mate. He ain't running away with the title.
No. Logan's contract expires.
We're going to see one of Seth Rollins' suits in his fridge.
That'd be good. But what I'd like to see is them say, like, you can come back, but you need to prove that you're worth their contract. So they have to do something else. So they have to make him, and Seth could play into that. We could get 4 matches from this.
In character, you mean?
Yeah.
Okay. So they make it a storyline.
To make it a storyline, maybe a best of 3. I wouldn't mind that. Seth wins the next one, then a rubber match, and then they move on from it like that. I don't mind that at all. But I like the idea of Logan's contract expiring and then them talking and Seth saying, well, you may have beat me, but I still have a contract. I'm still employed here and you're not. And then it's like, if you want the contract, jump through these hoops.
See, I think when Logan Paul babyface, because the interview I saw with Ariel One the other day was kind of acting like a heel. So I think he's mixing his real life in with his character a bit, both times. I feel like 3-4 months ago, you watch the interviews with Logan Paul, and he's just like, and he's still saying like these guys are great, like they work so hard, and he's basically saying now he knows his worth, sort of thing, like and all that kind of stuff. But I just feel like he might feel that that's going to hurt his brand if he has to prove himself, you know. So, but judging by how he was talking the other day, but that could have just been partly in character. Talking about Seth Rollins, though, Sludge Sports says I feel like Seth will have a crazy entrance.
So we discussed this. So. Firstly, we're getting a massive choir, a whole choir, and I reckon they're going to be like either glow sticky or covered in drip or whatever.
Glow sticky?
And we're going, you know, when they have like glow in the dark-esque, like with glow sticks or something like
glow
that.
Sticky.
Like a bit like a rave, glow sticky.
Like a rave.
Yeah. And then we're going to hit, the choir's going to go first. They're going to just sing it. Oh, you're welcome.
Gotcha.
And then the minute they start singing it, and all you're going to hear is the burn it down or something like that. And then the music will kick in and then they'll sing along with it. But, I can't wait. That's going to be great.
Yeah, I hope they do something big with it. I imagine they will. I still wouldn't be surprised if Seth won. But it's, I think the entrance it's got to be a big one. And he deserves it, man. He deserves it.
Of course he does. But
all right, go
on, carry on, and then we'll talk about other entrances because we've got a few that we've kind of touched on to do with what we'd like to see. And obviously, entrances and gear is the main reason of WrestleMania. It's like the show of.
This is what
I'm talking. So,
what we'll do then, we'll continue going through the card, and then after that, we'll go back to the matches and see if there's anything entrance-wise. If we haven't
I'm down.
it, cool. All right. So next up to talk about, to be honest, I feel like we've talked about this quite a bit already. Is Becky Lynch, Lita, Trish, and Damage Control. We've kind of mentioned it to death, really. Like this should have involved the tag titles, and it doesn't. Sonny Martin, thank you very much for joining us, mate. It says, "What's the main event tonight, lads?" It sounds like it's going to be the Usos versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. To be fair, that kind of fits into our point here of how the women's division has just not been booked and strong enough, really, to be a main event, in my opinion. Are Charlotte and Rhea good enough to main event? Yes. Is the storyline there at the moment? No. And we've been over this countless times already, so I won't go too deep into it. But yeah, Sonny, apparently it's the Usos versus Owens and Zayn. And again, I mean, you're a human being. You probably agree, because I think every single human being would agree that match should go and last, Sonny. I assume you're on the same side of the fence as us with that. Sludge Sports also says Logan attire got leaked. Okay, I haven't seen it. I'm going to have to look it up. Thanks for letting us know, Sludge.
So I don't know if this is attire that I've seen leaked, but I've seen his entrance has been leaked. Apparently he's getting shot up into the sky. On like
Rey
some pulley
sort of thing. Okay.
Hey, okay. Don't put them in the same conversation.
I'm just saying. Right. Anyway, so it looks like the main event, rightly so, as we said, is going to be the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. Mm-hmm. We're going to get into that match a bit more in detail a little bit as well. But yeah, this 6-woman tag match again, we've kind of talked about it quite a bit already, but any kind of changes as far as what you think might happen? Because
I still don't care.
That's not the point. We all went for damage control. I've seen a few kind of predictions from other people and arguments going for the other team. And my idea that night one's going to look good, babyface, woohoo, we all had a good time wrestling with my idols and all this kind of stuff. For the photos and the picture perfect moment, the next night just is going to turn. That's what I'm kind of leaning towards now. So if that
would be interesting if Lita
the case,
or both of them turned.
They just both batter Becky, saying you ain't good enough. Slow Sports says it's not black and yellow. I'm actually surprised by that. That's like his proper color.
I reckon it'll be like a prime color.
I reckon he's going to come out as a prime bottle. Yeah, that'd be cool. Right, let's move on to the next match, which is, funnily enough, the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. I don't know if there's ever been, not ever been, but that's a bit strong. But if there's been a person, a storyline more deserving of a main event spot in the modern era, more than this. That wasn't a world title match, don't get me wrong. Daniel Bryan, of course, deserved a main spot. Yes or Mania and all that. But like it was also for the world title. This isn't.
I would say of the modern era, did you say modern era?
Yeah.
I would say there's 3 that I can think of off the top of my head, right? That I would say are story driven that are worthy of being a main event. Daniel Bryan, 100%. Kofi Kingston would be the next one.
Yeah, but at the same time, we had Becky Lynch, who was on a roll.
Yeah, but I think it was the way it was booked is different. Obviously, Becky was on a roll. Obviously, that was such a big moment and all that sort of stuff. And
it's a bigger story. Kofi would only work if you knew Kofi was going to win.
Kofi's was a heartstring moment. It was like, I've been here for this long. I've missed that opportunity one time with the Randy Orton stuff. This is my time. I've worked, I've grafted, and this is that moment. And and obviously Mustafa Ali, I believe it was him, would have been in that chamber. Maybe it would have been different.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
he stepped in at the last minute, and he got hit with a Kofi Mania rocket, and went to, and the whole build up to it with the Usos forfeiting a match against New Day, and the New Day having to go through.
That was so cool. Yeah,
bro, the whole tournament in a gauntlet match, it was so good. Perfect booking all the way for that. So I'd say Daniel Bryan, Kofi Kingston, and this one of the modern era for like proper story driven would be those 3.
This one where it's not even for a world title is like astonishing,
mind-boggling, isn't it?
I wonder, go on.
I was to say, knowing that it's for the tag team titles, and I continuously say it, I'm a big fan of the Usos. I'm not sure if anyone's been aware of that before. But bro, just to see the tag titles actually get the acknowledgement they deserve, how important they are and stuff, is so nice to see.
So I was gonna say, I wonder if WrestleMania was one night, if you could make a case for this to headline over the world title. I do think like if they hadn't taken they've pivoted, right, and Cody thing's a big story anyway. So it's kind of hard to compete. Because a month ago in the Elimination Chamber build-up, we were basically saying, if Zayn somehow wins this, like, he's worthy of being in the main event of WrestleMania, So, with a world title. But, yeah, not sure it would have been the case going up against Kofi and Roman and a long reign and all that kind of stuff. Sorry, Cody and Roman and a long reign and all that kind of stuff as well. But I think any other year, you could argue this is the main event, even in a one-night WrestleMania
do you know what?
As well.
I never thought I'd say, like, obviously I'm a big fan of Cody. I love Roman. I love the Usos. And, there's a lot of guys that we really think they should be in the main event. They should be in this position. But just the story alone it's weird. It's got that momentum where just story alone without titles could be literally the ultimate main event for WrestleMania. And now we've got tag titles on the line, which at this moment in time are so prestigious because of what the Usos have done with it. Broken records, length of time that they've held it, people that they've defeated, gone through the entire locker room of tag titles, tag teams and stuff like that. Now we're getting Owens and Zayn back together. which you would never think would happen, bearing in mind what happened with the Bloodline for like the last 9 months. Such a strong story and everything they've done to it. It just like it culminates. This is the final moment, and that feels so big. And it's weird to say, probably this is bigger than Roman Cody, like in the way it's being told.
It is huge. I mean, Cody is a big part of a separate storyline. Roman's a big part of this, but like really, it's the Usos, isn't it? It is like trying to make the Usos kind of lose their titles, but like it was all based on Sami Zayn and Roman, and it is a shame that it's moved away from that. But at the same time, I understand it. And a big kind of backstory all the time was Jay, whether or not he was going to accept Sami Zayn, excuse me, as well. Also, let's get into a few more comments here as well. Sludge Sports says the Usos is winning. The Dark Shinobi says this storyline is great. 100% agree with you, Dark Shinobi. Thank you very much for joining us and sending us your comment here as well. Sludge says, joke, it's April Fool's, Zayn and Owens win. Okay, going against his own pick there. And LOL, Sludge, I was going to say, look, come on, I wouldn't be surprised if the Usos won. Let's be real. Laura says, love Kofi Mania, but still think the storyline with Sami is stronger. I think so as well. It's a much bigger, much longer storyline. And the Dark Shinobi says, yeah, I agree with that. It's bigger than Cody / Roman as well. Right. It's about an hour and 10 minutes away from WrestleMania Night 1. Looking forward to it. Hope you guys are as well. I'm sure you are. That's why you've joined us here for the WrestleMania build-up show on Night 1. Thank you so much for joining us, by the way. If you're new here or whether or not this is your 17th time here, we thank you so much for coming along with our stream as well. And we hope you join it. The whole idea of this is to kind of get yourself and ourselves hyped up for the show. I keep saying all night as if WrestleMania needs much hyping, but there we go. We're here to do it anyway. Earlier in the week, we did a red carpet preview. Not that there's going to be much time to what this. If you have time, we have spoke about it already in depth. Our kind of predictions for this show, and also we did touch on NXT earlier on. So if you're a fan of NXT, look, I used to be a big fan of NXT, but I haven't watched much of it recently. And the whole idea was, could I get back into it? And we did a watch along, we did a build up show and an instant reaction. And I got to say, guys, it went pretty well. I did enjoy what NXT had to offer. Now, like I said, we are the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. We don't just do kind of instant reactions, recaps, and predictions, build-up shows. We also, thankfully, get the opportunity to talk to some WWE superstars. So if you haven't already, check out our interviews on this channel as well. We've got interviews with the likes of Drew McIntyre, Bianca Belair, Damian Priest, and then going all the way back to someone I think, hopefully, will be turning up this weekend in Big E as well. Also, touching on that, we did do a long predictions episode based on Raw after WrestleMania. I don't know about you, but I think it's definitely lost its shine in recent years. And it's not been that exciting. But this year, it feels a bit different. And you're looking at some of the names there, some of the people at least. And there's a very real possibility for a lot of these people to come up and join us on the main roster, whether it be a debut, a return, or a call-up from NXT. So we go in depth on that on this channel as well. So check that out if you haven't already. Get to another comment here from Sonny, who says, this is when unexpected results like Brock beating Roman a couple years ago pays off. You never really know 100% who will win. Good point. Like we say, we've been going for our predictions for this card, and it's a great card both nights. Some of these things you start thinking, oh, that's pretty set in stone. Like, I know what's going to happen there. Some of them, not so much. But even the ones that do feel set in stone, like, probably not. Like, we all are looking at it as like the Usos are going to lose because it's a nice feel-good story. But like, if they've got something else planned, maybe the Usos aren't going to lose. Do you know what I mean? I think, especially if it's closing, it will kind of be a bit painful after what Sami went through at Elimination Chamber not to use it. But there we go. Talking about the rest of the card as well, and some of the matches that seem a kind of foregone conclusions. A lot of people think Austin Theory, just because he's a full-timer and aren't really going on John Cena. I've gone for John Cena just because I think they might swerve us, basically, because they know all of us know that John Cena is not a full-timer. And I reckon he could come back either for a match the next night or a match on Monday Night Raw and basically do the open challenge and lose the title quickly. What do you guys think of that? Let me know in the comments. Sludgeport says the 6 matches on night 2. I think Bobby and LA Knight is going to happen with a Bobby Open challenge. That's a good point, actually, because both of those people need something to do at WrestleMania. Bobby been let down by the Bray situation. Now, we don't know what's gone on there. If there are health issues involved with Bray, of course, we wish him a speedy recovery. Now, on top of that, LA Knight is just over like Rover, as they say. Like when he got eliminated from the SmackDown Battle Royal, Andre the Giant Battle Royal, I should say, on SmackDown, they were just all chanting for him. He has to do something at Mania. I would love it to be something with Austin. I'm not sure if it will be, but I've not once considered that those two people could be put together, Sludgeport. So thank you for bringing that up as well. It'd be interesting to hear what other people think about that match as well. But I don't know if it would be that exciting, other than just giving them both their moments. I think they both need separate moments. I think Bobby doing something exciting and LA Knight doing something exciting would be pretty cool. And split them up as well. Do them on either night. I think would be pretty cool as well. Right. I was doing a little bit of plugging earlier on, and I'm not ashamed to do some more. We've got a great video on this channel that Rob's been working on, based on Rey Mysterio's career as well. Of course, we inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame last night, and Rob went into his career, basically going into 5 things that he believes led to Rey Mysterio being considered for an induction, and it's a great little look back on his career as well. Now, going back to the lineup for tonight, of course, it's a big one. Is it as big as night 2? Just about, I think. I think it is a little bit, like, I wouldn't say lacking, but it's not as big as night 2 in some ways, because I think there's a lot of things on night 2 that potentially could have headlined, or even headline night 1, for example, the IC title match, the Hell in a Cell match. If there's a Hell in a Cell match, it should be in the conversation for headlining, surely. But it's not. It's on night 2 with Roman and Cody. So we'll see how that pans out on night 2. But what are you thinking, guys, of night 1? Are you happy with night 1? Does it match up closely enough for you as far as night 2? In my opinion, it doesn't feel like a massive difference between the two of these. I think this is, and honestly, you want night 1 to be a bit kind of reserved, right? You want it to kind of lead into night 2 and be the at least slightly bigger and better event. You don't want it to be a clear runaway, like night 1's not great, I'm not really looking forward to it, I might only watch night 2. But as we said on our kind of episode the other day where we talked about our lineups as well, we were talking about whether or not night 1 even could be considered a WrestleMania card on its own, and I really do think under the right circumstances it could be. Sludgeport says yeah, because night 2 has Brock Lesnar versus Omos, match of the year. Potentially. Look, we've all been joking about Brock versus Omos, especially when it started that feud. I really wasn't looking forward to it, but for what it is, we need like different kind of matches. We need variety, you know, and yeah, man, I'm so looking forward to just kind of seeing Brock F5 Omos, basically. I think it's got to happen. Yeah, they planned it well this year, says Dark Shinobi as well. You say this year. You might agree with me as here as well, but I think they've planned it quite well the past few years. Every time it's been a 2-nighter, it's been pretty good. So I'm pretty pleased with it so far. Again, if you're new here, you might not realize, but I've been quite, well, when it was first brought up, I was quite against the 2-night WrestleMania because I just worried about it quite a bit. But I've actually enjoyed it. I think it's worked quite well, and it's not going away anytime soon, is it, guys? Right. Let's talk about, let's bring up this graphic again one more time for the tag match, because I don't know about you guys, but I'm really disappointed that this is 4-0. Do you think this could become for something? Like, now that we know that the number 1 contenders are Sami and KO, could this not, in theory, become a new number 1 contenders match? I think it was a bit weird to announce it at that, and then afterwards, Sami and KO somehow get a match when there's already a number 1 contenders match. But for me, personally, like, these matches are a little bit out of place on the card if they're not for anything. Let me know what you think about that. Sunny says, I don't watch the weekly shows, so I haven't been seeing the build-ups
to these matches. Glad WrestleMania over 2 nights these days. Not sure what night's better. Thanks for your 2 cents there, buddy. I'm the same. I don't really get around to watching Raw and SmackDown as often as I would like, especially Raw. Let's be real, 3 hours is a bit of a slog. Yeah, I'm in the same camp as you. Like I said, both nights feel quite equal to me, and that's quite good. Right, let's bring back this graphic again of night 1. Let's dig a little bit deeper. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley. Now, this is one that I've been, I don't want to say skeptical of, because it's going to be a great match. I think it's going to be a great match. And Rhea is so cool and exciting at the moment that I'm looking forward to seeing whatever she does. But realistically, what made her exciting in the past 6 months is Judgment Day. And this has nothing to do with the Judgment Day. It was nothing to do with her position within the women's division. It was about her position within the company and what she was doing around the men. Do you know what I mean? Edge, teaming with Dominic and stuff like that. It was Judgment Day stuff. It wasn't anything to do with her position in the women's roster. Now, does she deserve to be a Royal Rumble winner? Yeah, I think so. Does she deserve to be the champion and face Charlotte in big matches at WrestleMania? Definitely. But was this the time for it? Not for me. I mean, I didn't even think she should win the Royal Rumble this year. And I was hoping that this storyline would prove me wrong. And it hasn't. The only way I see around this, and we talked about this the other day on the stream as well, is if Rhea Ripley wins the title and basically becomes the leader of the Judgment Day. You know? And heels thinking Undisputed Era and teams like that, basically anything they can to make her hold on to that title. I think it would be pretty cool. But yeah, let me know what you think, guys. Charlotte Flair, Rhea Ripley, are you in the same camp as me? Hasn't had the build it deserved. Talking to build-up, you of course on the build-up show, and tomorrow we're going to have another build-up show as well. So thank you very much for joining us tonight. Hope this is getting you in the mood for WrestleMania Night 1, but we are going to be back on Night 2 as well, building up towards that again, starting from 11 p.m. It says GMT there. That's wrong. We're in British summertime at the moment. 3 p.m. PT and 6 p.m. ET as well. If you're new here, guys, we would really appreciate if you subscribe to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. As time of going live, we're on 496 subscribers. It would be beautiful if we came off air to 500. We are on the road to 500, so if we've already made it, that'd be absolutely fantastic. If you're new here, please subscribe if you haven't already. Sludge Sports says Rhea Ripley. I'm guessing that means should win the match. Sludge Sports, is that what we're going with there? Surely I think Rhea Ripley is the most likely. To be honest, me and Rob did go for Rhea. Dan, who you saw on the stream earlier on, and also Lucas, who isn't with us at the moment, but he also went for Charlotte, those two. So a real split between us here on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. I did get the opportunity to talk to Rhea Ripley a few months ago as well as superstars such as Butch, Bianca Belair, and Dan had a great chat with Riddle a little while ago as well. So if you haven't already, check those out. But my conversation with Rhea was basically talking about things about her character. You know, she really came into her own, of course, after the Mae Young Classic, once she started to bring in her own kind of character into, like, well, her own life really into her character, you know, her love for alternative music. She talks about scaring people at the gym and creating memes as well. So if you haven't already, give that a watch. Sludge Sports, just to confirm, says wins. Rhea Ripley is going to win. What you think of Rob, man? Are we looking at Rhea Ripley winning still? I mean, me and you went for Rhea. Charlotte was the pick for Dan and Lucas. What are you thinking?
I mean, it's got to be Rhea, right? I mean, the idea of having Rhea Ripley be the only person in Judgment Day carrying a title, it looks great.
Exactly, like, like we were saying before, like them all kind of cheating to win, helping her and stuff like that. I think it'd be fantastic.
Yeah, it has to happen. You know, I think even the idea and the spectacle of everyone else not having a title and Rhea being the only one. Bear in mind, she kind of stands central anyway, because I think it's Finn at the front, Dom on the right, Damian Priest on the left, and Rhea in the middle. I may be wrong with the way they stand at the entrance, but that looks so good. Plus, that's bragging rights for Judgment Day. And if the rumors are that they're bringing someone else in on Raw, then that'd be even better, because then she's the only one, and they've already got 4 members. So there'll be 4 other members plus a woman to have a title. So I think it'll be great.
Interesting point there. Of course, we did mention earlier on our Raw After Mania kind of predictions that we did go into possible additions to the Judgment Day. But there's a lot of talk about them potentially breaking up. It's kind of died down recently, but in a lot of predictions a few weeks ago, it was looking like they could potentially break up. Before we get into possible new members, if they do stay together, which I think we'll do on the Raw After Mania build-up show, who would you say is more likely to be kicked out of the Judgment Day this weekend? Before you do, we're going to quickly show up Sludge Sports here. JD McDonough, we were talking about him quite a lot earlier on the NXT stream. Thank you for coming back, by the way, Sludge Sports. Really do appreciate you, buddy. Could join. Interesting point. We'll touch on that a bit more detail on the Raw After Mania, because it'd be good. Yeah, it's good to see if they're actually still together. But if someone was to be kicked out this weekend, who's the most likely, mate?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, if Dom loses, there's a potential there. If Balor loses, there's potential there. I think I would say the only one that's really safe is Damian Priest. He hasn't got a match.
Wow. And that's what I was going to say. He's the one people were worried about, because he hasn't got anything going on.
What exactly? Unless Damian Priest is I guess, comes out for every single person, because obviously he's the one who isn't doing anything. So he's the enforcer. So he comes out for Finn, comes out for Dom, and he comes out for Rhea. I mean, I'm not against that happening, because there's a reason he's there. He's the biggest guy in the Judgment Day. He's there for a reason. Edge picked him for one reason. Then
Balor's kept him for another, I guess you could say.
Exactly. So, there's something there. I mean, I said Damien should have won the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. I can never say that. But yeah, I thought he should have won that to, really push Judgment Day. And I said my prediction is every single member of Judgment Day, over the next 2 nights, are going to win their matches, and the Judgment Day will look dominant in doing so. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I don't want anyone being kicked out of Judgment Day.
Me neither. It's kind of an impossible question, mate. I'm sorry I put you in that position. But let us know in the comments, guys. Who do you think is most likely to be kicked out of their Judgment Day? Again, I hope it's no one. And we're going to talk about new members, which I think is a nicer subject on the Raw After Mania build-up show. So, yeah, stick with us for that as well.
You don't want to do it now, no?
No. Hey, mate, we've got all weekend, mate. We've got all weekend. Let's bring up the lineup again. And I want to hear your thoughts, mate. I've just been touching on, of course,
I've got many.
the Charlotte Flair Rhea Ripley thing. I want to dig into that a little bit more, because, of course, the big kind of conversation is whether or not it should headline. It's not headlining now. Do you think we can finally start to just enjoy it for what it is?
See, I want to say yes, but they still haven't done good booking. It falls back into this thing. We've been talking about how much we want the women to look strong and powerful, to stand out and have the same impact that the men have on every single PLE, every Raw, every SmackDown, every house show, every promo they do, be on more billboards. We want all of that for them, because that is what we want to see. We finally start getting it, and then all of a sudden it comes to WrestleMania, the one time where it needs to be important, and they go, we'll just book them. We'll just throw them together. We'll do a showcase match, and we'll have lackluster performances or plans for what they're going to do. If they perform, we'll give them a couple minutes. That's how it feels, because how can you have a Royal Rumble winner and it's not even important? How can you have 6 women in this bloody awful tag match that we've got for the tag titles and they're not being important? How can you not have the tag titles on there, on being defended on the biggest stage in WrestleMania, which would be a big thing for the women's titles, not even being used on the card? So how can we be excited for women's wrestling, which we have been, and we've spoken on great lengths of how good it is, especially the women's Royal Rumble. But I was looking at that, I was like, I can't wait for Mania. And now I'm like, oh, what? How did we step backwards? So I just think I want to be excited for these matches, but their booking isn't making me excited. I guess I'll be excited when they deliver and show what they're doing, and they show everyone backstage of how good they are, and this is what you should be booking properly. So I think if anything, tonight and tomorrow is the perfect time for all the women to make statements and say, look,
100%.
book us properly. And I hope that they do.
That's what I was saying when we were doing our lineup discussion the other day, was that it's not Charlotte, it's not Rhea, it's not anyone in the 6-woman tag, it's not anyone in the 8-person show us what you got tag team special, it's not Bianca and Asuka. It is the lackluster storylines that we've been getting with them. And again, what made Rhea special was the Judgment Day. Don't get me wrong, would I trade that Rumble? No, it was a great moment. She performed so well in it. But it really made me think going forward we were going to see something special. And like you say, to devalue the Rumble winner, look, they've done it plenty of times before, don't get me wrong. But but
this is the worst they've done it.
Yeah, it's harder with the two nights and to still not use it in a significant way. It's a bit of a shame. A few comments here as well. Laura says, not going to lie, love to see Charlotte Big Boot Damian Priest to the face. To win. Yeah, good point, actually. I'd love to see those legs get high and knock out Damian Priest. That'd be quite entertaining. Finn Balor says, Sludge Sports, as far as who's getting kicked out of the Judgment Day first. You know what? I can kind of see that, especially if he loses to Edge tomorrow night. And of course, we're going to get into that in depth tomorrow. Go on, what are you going to say, buddy?
Sorry, I thought it was tonight. I got excited then.
It's tomorrow.
Question.
I'll leave it about
tomorrow. I'll save it for tomorrow.
All right. And then also says Damien and Solo weren't even in the Battle Royal. Good point, actually. Yeah. Daniel Wiley says, hey guys, Daniel, thank you so much for joining us, mate. Good to see you back. What's the matter with you?
I had that, the Goonies, hey you guys. I just popped in my head.
That's not what he's saying. He's saying just hey guys. All right. Thank you, Daniel, for joining us. Much appreciated, buddy. We know you've been here for plenty build-up shows throughout the past few months as well, man. So again, if you're a return guest like Daniel, or you're a brand new subscriber like we know Sludge Sports became tonight, we thank you so much. We really do appreciate everyone that joins us. Man. We're on the road to 500, baby. Earlier on, I said 5,000 by accident, but if I came off this stream, we had 5,000. I'd be pretty pleased as well. But if we get to 500, baby steps, I guess. First of all, earlier on, we were talking NXT, guys. We did an instant reaction podcast for that, so go back and check it out if you haven't already. After, of course, this one here, because this is all about WrestleMania. There's not much time for NXT now, but just to let you know, it is there. And of course, we will be back tomorrow night for a build-up and preview for tomorrow's night's WrestleMania shenanigans as well. Right, Rob, I'm getting excited. I'm excited, man. Let's go back to the lineups. I don't know. What is in that beer? Let's get back to the lineups, and we're talking special entrances, right? We've already talked about.
Now I'm excited.
Seth versus Logan Paul.
Yeah.
Do you think Logan Paul's going to get a special entrance beyond kind of
so we said about
cards?
You got to catch them all, bro. So from what I've seen, some people in the chat may have seen it as well, the leaks and stuff. Sludge spoke about the leak of Logan's attire, obviously not being black and yellow, which is obviously, I believe, that's a throw to reference the Pikachu colors.
Is it? Okay.
I believe so.
I really like Pikachu.
He does. But apparently Logan's like being shot up into the air or lifted in hair on the air, like how Sting used to come down from the rafters. Okay. Logan's being sent up or something.
Again,
like that,
you keep describing it as if it's not the same as what Rey Mysterio used to do, mate.
It's on street.
It's on street. Okay. All right. I thought you were just in denial that you didn't want to compare the two. I know you weren't really hard on that Hall of Fame video, mate. But look, sometimes people
drop that plug.
That one a little watch as well. But yeah, anyway, you know what we're gonna do? In a moment, we're actually gonna bring in someone live from WrestleMania. How does that sound, bro?
Yeah, I'm down. We've got to give him a challenge though. He needs to start a woo chant.
Oh, don't put him under too much pressure. We're gonna have Andy Spores join us in a little bit, of course, from Russian Rock and Wrestling Royalty here on YouTube as well. So if you don't already subscribe to Andy or follow him, now is your chance. Right, so I can see he's getting ready in the background. We're going to bring him on in just a moment. We had him on for the NXT build-up as well. And let's see what we're like here. Of course, there's a lot of people there, so bear in mind it may be a bit noisy. Exactly. It might be noisy, might be choppy, but let's give this a go with Andy right now. Andy, how you doing?
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, just about. How you doing, man?
Yeah, not too bad. It is loud here, so you are right. There's a lot of woo in the background.
Mate, Andy, can you give us a woo?
Woo!
Yeah, nice.
There's also a lot of going on as well.
Is there really? Yeah, so we were talking off air, weren't we, Andy, about at SmackDown, the reception that LA Knight got. Do you think we're seeing LA Knight tonight or tomorrow?
It's a good question. I don't know. Looking at the... Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead, mate.
Yeah, I think there's a match short tomorrow, isn't there? And the balance of things. So it could be tomorrow night.
That would make more sense.
I think there's a 7 or 8, and then there's like a weird split. So yeah, I think it's tomorrow, but who knows?
If it was today or tomorrow, mate, what do you see him doing? Is it an open challenge? Is it something with Stone Cold? Or as someone mentioned in our comments earlier on, could it be linking up with Bobby Lashley, another person missing out?
Yeah, I think Bobby Lashley said he's going to do an open challenge, so it would make sense if it's there, but it's not great tonight because it probably means that he's losing. But either way, he'd get a massive moment. I think at this stage in his career, probably just take that, to be honest. The whole stadium coming unglued if he came out to his music. And like, I'm just looking at the ramp now. It's a massive ramp, like soaking it. The atmosphere as you walk down must be like, for his stage of his career, he'd probably be ecstatic with that.
Yeah, definitely, mate. Speaking of atmosphere, what's the atmosphere like there at the moment? I've been to many a few times, and honestly, I'm so I try not to use the word jealous, but come on, it's hitting me hard seeing you there.
He is building. You can hear there's a DJ going on in the background, so he's kind of playing a bit of weird dance music and stuff. So I don't know what the licensing logic is, but it's his own
right.
mix.
We can barely hear it. We're good.
Okay, it is building. There's a lot of people kind of filtering in. But the stadium is gorgeous. It's very new. Like all the kind of food and refreshments are all kind of like artisan and street food and pizzas and stuff. So you can tell it's a new stadium, but it is beautiful. I'm an LA Chargers fan myself, so it's great to be here to see what they're playing. But yeah, probably similar to the Spurs crowd. It's nice, very nice in terms of like, I guess. In a modern day stadium, you can make massive concourses. It's really weird because when you come into the stadium, the street level is at the top, and you have to get escalators down. So I think you get about 5 or 6 escalators down to the actual like sort of floor area. So it's good seats.
Okay, yeah. Well, interesting. What's the big screen like? It looks amazing on TV.
So it's like a movie theater, like sort of Oscars entrance style thing. So I'm trying to get it so you can see it a little bit better. But yeah, it's like a massive stage, probably one of the bigger ones I've seen in recent years, like similar to, not quite as big as 33, but it's still big. And then like either side of the stage, it's like sort of stepped up into what looks like a sort of giant movie theater style with movie posters on either side of it. So really cool, really cool.
It looks amazing, mate. It does definitely look as like, again, I've seen the reveal online, but like you can see the scale of it there. Dark Shinobi says, "Is it Vince's playlist DJ that we're getting in the background there?" Oh, I'm hearing a yeah in the background there as well.
Guys, it's definitely it's a DJ they see. I've been at SummerSlam. The guy's the same guy last year, so he must be a favorite. I don't know who he is though.
Hey, you're supposed to be a reporter of music and wrestling, Andy. What's going on?
Well, I do, but rock music. This guy's a DJ who's playing some, like, I don't know, he's going between like techno, dance. It's not really my realm, but hey, people are enjoying it. And he's got a cracking mustache as well. Very similar to Eric Booth, or Rick Booth, sorry, I should say.
Nice one.
It sounds like my gym playlist.
Hey, Speaking of the music, of course, we did a stream on your channel, Wrestling Royalty, a little while ago, didn't we? And we were talking about famous WrestleMania theme songs and stuff like that. How are you feeling about this year, mate, with a weekend?
I love weekends. It means you have to work when it's Friday. But
hey,
no.
I love it.
No, I do. I'm a big weekend fan. This one's a bit of a strange one. Like it's quite a slow one, but I guess it kind of suits the Hollywood style that they go for, like kind of like sleep one. So I'm not even sure what time are we starting. I'm here and I don't know.
Yeah,
like
40 minutes.
40 minutes away, mate. So what's it looking like? Is it filling out already? Right. The seats?
It's definitely like a lot of people still to fill in. I don't know if you can kind of see that from that camera or not. But that's like all the way up. There's a lot of seats. So there are a lot of people in the concourse trying to get food. Big queues for like food and stuff. So it will fill in. It will fill in.
Nice one, man. All right. Anyway, we're going to let you go because I don't want to hold you for too long. But once again, thank you so much for coming on the build-up show. You're welcome to join us for the instant reaction or the build-up tomorrow, mate. We really do appreciate you coming on. Quickly, before you get out of here, let everyone know where they can find your work.
Yeah, as I said before, the NXT show, there's loads of stuff going on rush.com. And you can find me on Twitter at Sporsy19. Feel free to follow me. I'll try my best, but I don't want my phone to die because I haven't got like any backup battery. So I could be in trouble if it goes and not be able to get back to my hotel. So you might just see me roaming the streets of LA trying to get back.
Hey, just make sure you film it and make some content out of it, and it's all good. Oh, then again, you can't because your phone will be dead. Anyway, with that in mind, mate, enjoy WrestleMania.
Yeah, be boring for everyone involved.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Enjoy it, lads.
All right. Enjoy yourself, man. Take care. Right. There we go. At Sporsy19. Just in case you didn't hear that, appreciate Andy for joining us. I know it was a bit choppy there. Audio, thankfully, we could hear him quite well. But yeah, I appreciate the camera was a bit choppy at times. So, but it was great to see it, wasn't it, Rob? I mean, look at that stage. Look at people filling out. Like, you're feeling jealous now, right?
A little. And do you know what as well though? Obviously we both do other podcasts that talk about film and TV and stuff, and obviously we talk music sometimes, and obviously we've done RN like Rebellious Noise and talking about Oscars and all that sort of stuff on other channels that we have. And honestly, it looks so nice. And because I'm such a big film fan and like pop culture, as you can probably see, bro, that looks amazing. That looks so.
It does.
That could be my favorite one. I see it properly.
Yeah, it's one of my favorites as well. Like I think even got like little kind of Art Deco, and I love a bit of Art Deco kind of
I know you do.
design going on it as well. Like classic cinema stuff, and yeah, like we do cover, as you said, on our in screen one. If you haven't subscribed to that as well, appreciate you're here for wrestling. But if you like football, if you like food, most people do. If you like film and TV, if you like music, we've got different channels, and the main Rebellious Noise channel, of course, where we cover a whole range of things as well. So check it out on this channel, RN Pro Wrestling. You go down to the bottom, you see our featured channels there as well. Laura says stage looks awesome. I wonder if we got a Miz reference there. I know Laura's a big fan of the Miz.
Can we touch on the Miz quickly?
Let's touch on the Miz. I'm excited to see what the Miz does. And what do you think, mate, about that song with Maurice? I think it's absolutely fantastic.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
What are you talking about?
You haven't
no.
What? You haven't seen their song?
No.
They've done a whole song about WrestleMania. Are you joking me?
No.
Oh,
no,
mate,
I heard it.
I hope they come out tonight. About maybe a week ago now.
Really?
Yeah, but so of course Miz is the host. They should have included Maurice because she's going to be there as well. I hope at least. They're such a great team together. But yeah, they recorded a whole song about WrestleMania. It's wicked. There's a music video, like it's so good. I don't know if it's quite up there as Miz and Johnny Drip Drip was, but man, I'm really enjoying it. As Laura says, I'm here for the Miz. There we go.
Can I just say, They're looking almost as dazzling as a Scotty Drip Drip when you wore Seth Rollins suits.
Hey, look at you, man. Look at you. You know how to make a plug for this channel, don't you? There we go. I did once dress up as Seth Rollins on this very channel. If you want to see us do silly content like that, hey, go subscribe and check it out.
I think if we hit 500 subscribers before, actually, let's say 510 before WrestleMania Night 2, I think you maybe should consider it for the wedding. One of them, maybe.
Mate. I don't know if go down well with others. Let me give you an update, Rob. We're on 498. We're on 498.
It could happen. I think you agreed as well.
On this stream. 500 guys, if you are watching and you're new here, honestly, we'd appreciate it so much if you subscribe.
We would.
Look, every YouTuber is going to come on here. Every YouTube channel is going to come on here and say subscribe and all that kind of stuff, and kind of sell their channel.
Look, they're not as fun as this, are they?
Hey, controversial. Look, I know everybody does it, but it really does go a long way. We've got a lot of stuff on this channel. If you like build-up shows like this, we do them for every single PLE. We've got a great team here on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel, and a lot of friends in the wrestling media, like Andy, who jumps in on the build-ups as well. Personally, there are some of my favorite streams, but alongside that, we have predictions and preview streams as well. We have recaps and reviews. We have instant reactions. We also have watch-alongs, not just for current shows, but classic shows such as SummerSlam 92, ECW One Night Stand. As we mentioned a few times tonight as well, we've had the opportunity to interview some WWE superstars over the years as well. Bobby Lashley, Liv Morgan, Drew McIntyre, just to name a few. And I say a few because we've got quite a few on the channel, Rob.
Sorry, I was just looking for the few names that you dropped there. I was just...
Hey, look, we're trying to get people to subscribe by telling them the good interviews we can bring in, right?
I mean,
of course,
great.
You might be able to tell by the way me and Rob talk. We're from London, England. And of course, coming soon is Money in the Bank. And of course, we are hoping to be there, cover it massively in depth. We covered Clash at the Castle quite in depth, a lot of content on the channel, but we're going big for Money in the Bank, Rob. I'm so excited for it. And we really do hope we're going to be able to kind of bring you some more interviews and kind of build up shows and exciting things like this one once more. So again, I feel like we're on like one of those TV shows where they're begging you to phone up and donate. But basically, I'm saying please subscribe. Right. Anyway, Sludge Sports says, is that song when Miz talks about moments of mania? That's the one, mate. Yeah, I think it's so cool. I mean, it's cheesy. Don't get me wrong. And I saw some behind the scenes stuff recorded. Yeah, no, it is really cool. I really hope they play it tonight as well. Right, we were talking about special entrances, mate. Let's get back to that.
Yeah,
special entrances. We were talking about Logan Paul versus Seth Rollins. You're already telling me that Logan's going to be attached to some wires, not like Rey Mysterio. But then also, let's move on to what other matches. I mean, I don't think anything special is going to happen as far as entrances go for the show us what you got tag match.
No, do you think
special attires maybe?
Maybe. Do you think though, special entrances, Rey will give us an old school Rey Mysterio leaping out of the like for one last time because there's a Hall of Fame?
He can't put that on his knees after going in and then go into the ring. Like, it's too much.
I don't know, bro.
Unless they do a safer way for him to land or something like that, or he don't even land. Like, he lands on a crash mat and they don't show it.
I mean, we either get that, Rey comes out, and then Dom does it. No,
only Dom should do it. Dom should come out to Rey's old theme song. Who's that jumping out?
That'd be sick. That'd be so good.
The thing is,
yeah, but we said about that for Theory and Cena. We can't have that.
We did,
and I think Theory and Cena would be better.
Yeah, good point. Look, with Rey, the Booyaka song is so tied in. Look, I love POD. Got to interview them on the main Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On the main Rebellious Noise channel, I should say. Go check that out from a few years ago as well. But yeah, I love the song. Don't get me wrong, but there's something about that first one. Who's that jumping out of the sky? This one fits Rey perfectly because of the kind of Mexican American heritage and things like that.
Okay, as well. So what if we get a moment of Rey comes out to the who's that jumping out of the sky? That one. He gets his leap. He does that moment, and then it hits into Booyaka.
That'd be cool. I'll be down for that, mate.
Kind of cross both of them, so we get the best of Rey, and then we get Legacy Rey, which is I guess it is now.
Yeah. I what I really enjoyed about the Hall of Fame was that, first of all, Ray's mask was incredible, right?
Did you see the video backstage about him being given a mask?
No, I didn't.
And anyone in the chat, if you haven't seen it, please go and look it up. Basically, Ray gets given a mask. It's heavier, so it's like a fabric, but it's like diamante and all that stuff. Or is that's what it's called? I'm not down with fashion, as you can see. I reckon Iconics.
You're down with masks, mate. You should, though.
I am, of course. I mean, if someone wants to make me a diamante mask, I'll rep it on. But I doubt it. But he got given it, and I believe the guy that gave him the mask has made all of his masks over the years. I believe he's like a Japanese guy or something like that.
Right.
But literally, Ray turns around, he takes the old mask off, so you can just see the back of his head, and he puts a new one on, but it fits on so snug that it's not like loose like my one is. It's like a proper, and he says it's heavy. But that was custom made, specifically made just for that.
It was beautiful. He did shout it out as well, and I thought he'd have a special one. He had a special one on SmackDown, which I thought would be it. It was a bit not quite to my liking compared to the one that he showed up with. And what I really liked about the one he wore is that it was a sparkly version of a mask, but it was the old design. I like Ray when he has the feather and all, the kind of brush on his head, the mohawk thing, and when he was with Sin Cara at the half and half, and when he's had the straps and stuff like that at the back instead. But going back to, he looked like, and again, because he looks, you don't see much of his face, obviously, for obvious reasons, but he's so short still, he still hasn't grown, and he's like, it's very easy to look at Ray if he dresses like 97 Ray for you to think he is 97 Ray and he hasn't aged. And wearing that mask tight to his face, not the loose straps, no kind of things at the back or anything like that. The original design, yes, it was sparkly. It was like I was watching original Ray, and I think it made the speech that much more poignant, like him talking about his early days and stuff like that.
It was great.
Really enjoyed it. Like, we could go on about the Hall of Fame, but that's not what this stream's all about. What it is about, of course, is WrestleMania. Sludge Sports says Finn Balor's going to have a sick entrance with a purple demon. Yeah, of course.
I saw a couple of questions. Obviously, people in the chat that are watching now, obviously keep coming in on demand as well. Or if you want to watch it back after, whenever you feel free, a comment on, I guess, what your predictions would have been for, because it's pop culture references. Rey Mysterio, what he will come out as, because obviously Ray loves to do pop culture. He's done many of them. I've done it in the Hall of Fame video I was talking about, where he done that.
We'll hold off on the other one. I know you're going to say, obviously, links to this Finn Balor. We'll hold off on that for tomorrow's stream.
Tomorrow, yeah. But for Ray, what do you think pop culture? Because obviously, so from what I remember of the video, he's done the Phantom, he's done the Flash, the Joker. He has done Batman, but I believe that was on like a AAA or something like that. He's done Captain America. So what other kind of references do you think, or big movies are there? They're going Avatar, maybe, although he's done that similar so far.
Great point. Maybe it will be legacy based on his own career, though. Like you said earlier on, it could be something like that.
Can you imagine coming out in like the Puma, an updated Puma version from?
Let us know in the comments, guys. Let us know in the comments what you think. Dark Shinobi also says Cody's entrance is going to be nice, of course, referring to tomorrow as well. Thank you guys for that. Black Adam is the suggestion for
that's
Blood
good.
Sports as well. There we go. Nice one. I think Ray is. I'm excited to see Ray. Look, there was a time where Ray was.
Can we just get Filthy Animals Ray back? Just for one night.
Even that. If Dominic come out looking like Filthy Animals Ray, that'd be sick.
Something.
Yeah, anyway, but maybe that'd have to be in, like, you'd have to do that in kind of like as a babyface. I don't know. Slide Sports also says Black Panther, another great shout there as well. Look, there was a time where Rey Mysterio, and I was thinking about this last night during the Hall of Fame, like, where he come out as number 30 in a Royal Rumble and he got booed. Because, like, we were all after Daniel Bryan. It didn't happen, and our frustration went on top of Ray. And at the time, Ray was just like, he just kind of getting by, and it was the same old stuff, and we kind of like were underappreciating Ray because it just like it got a bit stale. Then he went away, and I won't go into this too much because of course you touched on this on the Hall of Fame video you did about him, but you mentioned the hiatus and coming back. That return at the Royal Rumble completely rejuvenated Ray's career. Not just the return, but what he did when he was away.
Yeah, so obviously he done like AAA, he done a lot more independent sort of stuff. I think the first thing that he done, and I think the most important thing, after he left WWE, he got healthy. And when I say healthy, I don't mean like eating clean and all that sort of stuff. So obviously, I'm assuming the guys do that on the road as much.
The man
as
rested
anyway.
up. Like there was so many
he
rested
rested
his
like,
knees and stuff like that back
yeah,
then.
because I
Like,
mean, at one point,
last long.
I believe, wasn't he wearing baggy pants a lot more because of knee problems? So I had the braces and all that. And I mean, he wears tights now.
Even that, when he come up with the tights, I was like, oh man, this is old school Ray.
Yeah,
you know, like
black and yellow. Like it looked great. You know, with like the singlet kind of thing dropped underneath it, and it looked good, man. I really, really liked the look. And obviously, he still looks in phenomenal shape now. You know, for his age and being like late 40s. But
yeah,
dude, like he can still go.
Yeah, mate. I'm all for a little Rey Mysterio love fest here. So yeah, if you're the same as us guys, I can't recommend this video highly enough. But yeah, if you do get the chance to watch this after you're done with WrestleMania and things like that, then please do. Right, let's quickly run through the rest of the card, mate, as far as kind of special possible entrances and things like that. You touched on it earlier on, John Cena versus Austin Theory. Do you think we are going to get what you've kind of fantasy booked here in Austin Theory coming out as a John Cena version of the past?
I mean, I can see it if it's so. So for the people that haven't checked the video before or what we were talking about before, so the idea would be Cena comes out first, he does his big thing, talks to the cameraman Stuart, which I do hope we get.
Oh yeah, because he weren't there when he returned. That was sad.
Yeah. So obviously we get to talk to Stu, which will be nice to see. And then so the fantasy booking is Cena comes out, he does his bit, he gets his big loud moment, and then all of a sudden, So You Think You're Untouchable starts playing, and then Theory comes out dressed as old school looking John Cena Chain Gang, but obviously with his proper attire underneath. So it's easy just to take the jorts off or just rip them like Cesaro used to do. But just come out to that and really play up to the heel moment. I mean, it could be good.
And even if he comes out first or second, I think, because first everyone would think it is Cena, so that'd be cool. Like when he did come back a few years ago in New York, New Jersey, as Thugonomic Cena as well. That would be cool to see. Anyway, Rob, I thank you so much for joining us, mate. I know you got to quickly shoot off as well, but you're going to be back, right, for the instant reaction, and of course for the build up as well. Everyone, say thank you to Rob. And we'll see you in a little bit. We're going to start winding down on the stream, guys. Of course, it is getting close to that time of WrestleMania Night 1. Laura says Fury needs to shave his beard and come out in a pair of jorts. That's the thing as well, isn't it? You know, he doesn't quite look like the image of John Cena that we all kind of obviously connected to why this feud should happen in the first place. He's looking different now. He looks a little bit more like John Cena a few months ago. But either way, really excited to see this match. And opening up, man, I've just remembered, like, that match starts in like 25 minutes sort of thing, you know? So very much looking forward to open wrestling. You know, will he do an open challenge? Are we going to get an open challenge on night 2? Or maybe on Raw? And that's how someone comes into the company or returns to the company as well. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think's going down as far as John Cena and Austin Theory as well. As I said earlier on, though, we do have a build-up show. If you've enjoyed this, we really do appreciate you joining us tonight, and we'll be back tomorrow night for a build-up show for night 2. So don't you worry. But also, the next stream you got to look forward to, guys, is we're going to be right here talking about night 1. We're not doing a watch-along, but we are going to come straight on air as soon as WrestleMania finishes tonight for our night 1 instant reaction as well. So basically, these are kind of quick podcasts where, exactly as it sounds, we give you our instant reaction, talking about what we've just seen take place. So it's our freshest kind of take on everything. And then we'll do another one for night 2. And then we're hoping to get a big old recap and review podcast for you on Monday as well, with regards to covering night 1 and night 2. Now, we talk about night 1, night 2. It is a very congested WrestleMania week. I'm sure you would agree. So what me and Rob did the other day was we sat down and rebooked the schedule for WWE. You're welcome, Trips. We tried to figure out a way to make the Hall of Fame, to make NXT just feel a bit more important, you know, give it a bit of a life again and make it stand out, basically. And when talking about that, we went into the Hall of Fame and some of the things we think need to change about the Hall of Fame as well. So again, 2 videos for you on this channel if you're interested in that sort of thing, our opinions at least, as to what to do when it comes with this very congested week. Don't get me wrong, I love WrestleMania week, but NXT is lost in the shuffle. Hall of Fame going on after SmackDown, not for me. Dark Shinobi says last year was seen as 20 years, right? I really think he's going to win. L. Is the L for winning? You don't want him to win? Is that what we're saying, Dark Shinobi? Yeah, it was 20 years of Cena last year. Funny enough, still repping that merch when he come back recently as well. So I'd imagine he'd have something new tonight for WrestleMania. It's not like Cena to not get a new t-shirt. But there we go. Really think he is going to win. Yeah, I think he's going to win simply because it seems more obvious that he wouldn't win, because we all know he's going away. But he could easily win and then lose the next night or on Raw. I'm not the biggest fan of hot potato win, but if it leads to somehow theory looking even better or kind of new talent coming in, LOL, no. Yeah, so new talent coming in, then that'll be cool as well. But we'll have to see about that one. Right, so yeah, kind of final thoughts, guys, going into WrestleMania Night 1 is that it's going to be a good one. Again, we're going to start out, of course, with the host of The Miz, and then the entire card really is just looking stacked. Night 1 alone could be a WrestleMania again. Austin Theory versus John Cena. Very, very much looking forward to that. Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley again. While there was a lot of talk about them not headlining, it was nothing to do, from my point at least, with these two women and what they can do in the ring. It was just about the kind of storyline that it was kind of had behind it. And yeah, now that we don't have to worry about it, I think people can just relax and enjoy this match for what it is, because I think it could be a very, very big match. Also, talking about big match, we've got big men in this one, loads of them. We got as what we've crowned on this channel now as the kind of show us what you got match. I can't remember what WWE called it, but basically it's a match for no reason other than to get a WrestleMania payday, which, hey, I'm all for, guys. I just think it should be announced as a number one contender or something like that. It's a bit frustrating that they've literally said you're on WrestleMania for no reason, kayfabe wise at least. Talking kayfabe, well, we've got a father and son who aren't very happy with each other at the moment, and you know what, that's led to me being very happy, because I've been looking forward to Dominic turning all along. I was there in person when he turned at Cardiff, and that pop was huge. I saw someone saying earlier on that this is a match that not all of us were behind, or a storyline that not all of us were behind. Mate, speak for yourself. I saw some guy saying it on Twitter, and I just thought, no, that's ridiculous. I've always wanted this match, and I think Dom's been great since he turned. I think he's been fantastic. Character work, in-ring stuff's got better and better. Speaking of in-ring stuff getting better and better, of course, we've got Logan Paul. Love him or hate him as an influencer, as a human being, or whatever else, mate, you cannot deny the talent this man has in the ring, and him versus Seth Rollins is a match I'm massively looking forward to. To have these two matches on the same night, we've got Dom and Ray versus each other, and of course Seth and Logan Paul against each other. It's going to be huge. I personally think they should have split these up, had one on one night and one on the other. But there we go. We're getting it either way, and I'm not going to complain at watching two incredible matches like that. What could be incredible matches at least. And then, as per Dave Meltzer, what we understand to be the main event, of course, is the Usos versus Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And can you get more in depth with the storyline than what we've been kind of treated to with the nuances and kind of emotions behind Sami Zayn's turmoil with the bloodline? It's going to be amazing. I don't think we're going to get any kind of crazy shenanigans as far as an Uso turning on an Uso, or don't think we're going to get much going on with Solo as far as anything out of the ordinary, as far as maybe he'll kind of protect his brothers, but I don't see him turning or anything like that. I do think the bloodline storyline is going to go somewhere else interesting in the future. I mean, it'd be silly not to, you know, if it didn't lead to Jay turning on Roman or Solo or something like that, turning on Roman. It would be crazy. But hey, Roman Reigns is a conversation for another day. Of course, that is the build-up show tomorrow. And we would love it if you come back and join us for that as well. We've been enjoying tonight's build-up show. If you're new here, basically, the idea is to get yourself and ourselves hyped up for the PLE. We do it every single month, as well as our regular predictions episodes. We talk about last-minute predictions. We talk about breaking news and things like that. We've had random conversations tonight about entrances, but also about leaked Logan Paul attires. Thank you very much again for that, Bun, Sludge Sports. And also, a few years ago, do you remember when WrestleMania got delayed? You know, it was kind of mayhem and pandemonium, kind of talking about it live. These streams are some of my absolute favorites to do. But with that in mind, WrestleMania is just, of course, an incredible time of year for a wrestling fan anyway. So either way, guys, I hope you enjoy it. We thank you so much for joining us here tonight and helping us on our road to 500 subscribers. If you haven't already, look, I'm going to ask again. Please forgive me, but please subscribe to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. We've got a lot of content coming here over the next few days around WrestleMania week, and of course going forward into the new season, as we like to call it, for WWE as well. So anyway, I've been Scott. Tonight we've been joined, of course, by Rob, our famous masked luchador on the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. Dan joined us for a bit as well. And also Andy. How cool was that to see Andy live there at SoFi Stadium, reporting live for us as well. Much love to Andy for that. Sludge Sports says, I sub away from 500. One sub away from 500. Oh, mate, we're nearly there. If you're watching this, guys, and you haven't subscribed, please help us out. You could be number 500. Thanks for letting me know the updates, Sludge Sports. I really appreciate it. And again, massive props to you for subscribing earlier tonight. I know you joined us first of all with the NXT coverage and you stuck with us throughout the night, and we really do appreciate it, mate. We will be back, like I say, for the instant reaction as we were for Stand and Deliver. We're going to do the same thing tonight. It's going to be like 5 a.m. for me and Rob, maybe 5:30 or 6, depending what time WrestleMania ends. But we're going to be here because we love this stuff and you love it too. And what better time to talk wrestling late at night than after a WrestleMania night. So anyway, with that in mind, we'll see you on the next one. Thank you very much. Enjoy WrestleMania.
Welcome to the Rebellious Noise Pro Wrestling channel. On this channel, we bring you some great content from inside and outside of the squared circle. We will go through and offer some in-depth analysis of the biggest events of the year, as well as bringing you exclusive interviews with some of the industry's biggest names. There will also be live show reviews, in-depth features, and podcasts. So make sure you give that subscribe button a slam so you don't miss any of the action.